Hey, okay, so once you've learned all of your main deep tendon reflexes and dermatomes, you have to move on to myotomes. Myotomes are the muscle groups innervated by any nerve root. And I have made this table that you can see next to me that has the main myotomes. Now you should know that these are somewhat oversimplified. Most muscles have several different nerve roots that are affecting them, but I wanted to make it as easy for you as possible. These are the things you have to memorize to be able to localize. So let's start with the arms. You know, when we did dermatomes, we got in the anatomically correct position, and then it worked in stripes, C5, C6, C7, C8, T1, T2. In the case of myotomes for the arm, it's really easier to think about it as if you were a crawling baby, like this. And then you can remember that, you know, basically things go from proximal to distal down the fronts of the arms, so that you have C5 for deltoid, C5 and C6 together for biceps. This is one of the muscles where you absolutely cannot narrow it down to one because they're exactly equal amount of innervation for biceps. And then wrist extensors in this position are also on the front of the arm, and they're C6 as well. And then if you look at your chart, you can see that there's some other important muscles that you need to think about that are in the arms, but we don't need to necessarily memorize those. And those are wrist flexion, which is a mixture of multiple nerve roots via median and ulnar nerves, so it's C6, 7, and 8, so you don't need to memorize that, but just so you know the basic gist of how it works. And the finger flexors, which are C7 and C8, and then the intrinsic hand muscles, which are T8 and T1. So as you can see, it goes from proximal to distal, with the basic idea being that the lower down the nerve root is, the more distal in the arm it's innervating muscles. And then another thing that you have to know about is, in this position, the only muscle that's really important that's on the back of your arm is your triceps, and it's C7. So if you think of C5 and C6 coming down the front of the arm and C7 coming down the back of the arm, then you've pretty much memorized the most important myotomes for the arm. Let's think about legs. Legs go very nicely with the dermatomes. So basically we have hip flexion is going to be L4. Quadriceps is also L4. Foot dorsiflexion is L5. Foot plantar flexion is S1. And then the hamstrings in the back of the thigh are actually a mix of S1 and L5. And that's it. Those are the ones that you have to memorize in order to be able to localize.